welcome back to Spect, and today we're going to be continuing the Conquest Combat, and I'm having so much fun with these, it has to be done. What we're looking at today is a mission from Warhammer Conquest issue number 4, and it's called Squad Warfare. We have now been introduced to the Poxwalkers as they've been added to the mission to cause mischief on the strike cruiser. Now the rules for the Poxwalkers have been included, which means that they are not very tough, but overall they save any wound on a 5+. They're not very good in combat, but that doesn't matter, we're going to play it through. It is worth noting that the Reaver and the Intercessor also have updated wounding and close quarter combat damage information. So you'll see they'll have 1/, which is against the Space Marine, the Chaos Space Marine, and the second one is versus the Poxwalker. Because we're working with units, the setup is as follows: that all models must remain within 2 inches of each other. Also, when they're firing, they can fire on the same target or split fire. It doesn't matter. In close quarter combat, they must remain within 2 inches of each other. We also have the pile-in move and the consolidate move. So let's have a look at the board and go from there. This is the setup. We have the rulers. The deployment comes into whoever rolls highest gets to go first to deploy their models. Space Marines won, but the mission says that Death Guard should go first. And we'll make a start. The idea is just to eliminate the other team. That's all we require for this one, just to get used to squad warfare. So I'll make a start. And first thing I'm going to do is move my Death Guard into a position where they can block lines of fire, as always. Now remember that the previous rules are still on as regards to the plasma weapon and a blight launcher. What I'm hoping is that these Reavers, they've only got one option to come around. They're fairly quick. They're either coming this way or they're going around here. Either way, it's now covered. Lanes of fire. Poxwalkers don't move as fast. They only move up 4. So there we go. A little tip for moving them all. Move the first one and you pretty much know how the rest was behind it, and you just move them all up. I don't think anyone's going to mind. There you go. That will save yourself a bit of time. Space Marines, I think we just need to fire. These guys aren't very tough. We can fire. We are not within rapid fire range, which is 12, so we're just going to fire shots here. That's fine. These guys, I think I actually want them to run around here. Because these are so slow, I think make an advancement to here or move into here and attempting to charge will be fine. Now the rules for Overwatch are in play as well. So let's move these up 6 and go from there. Yes, I'm using the Death Guard ruler, but it's not the end of the world. As long as these stay within the 2 inches, it's fine. That was all clustered together so we know that's where they're going. Now shooting. All of these models can shoot. And we'll start shooting over here. And I think we'll start with these guys first of all, the Intercessors. So we roll all their shots at the same time. We're not going to do this individually, and they're not treated as single models. If any of these models get hit, I can remove any of those models there. That's if they're wounded. So I'm rolling 3+ to hit, typical, first roll of the day, and 3+ to wound. They're not as tough as the Death Guard, right? But these do have disgustingly resilient, just like the Death Guard. So on a roll of 5+, they ignore it. So no, one of them dies. So let's remove this one on back. Next, we'll fire these 3, the Reavers, same target. And if you didn't see it, you wouldn't believe it, would you? Okay. Next is the charge phase. I'm going to declare these guys, are they within 12? Yes, they are within 12. And they have a 3-inch consolidation, pile-in, and that's within 3 inches, so they can all get into combat. So I've made that declaration, and now here's the Overwatch. The whole squad gets to fire Overwatch. It's not like before where it's just one model, it's the whole squad. Now remember, these are blocking line of sight. So if I can't draw a line of sight through to that model, base to base, there's going to be no Overwatch. So that's like a free charge without any risk. 2d6, I need about 11 or 10, and I think that's going to fail. Just to confirm, that fails. 7 inches is only going to take me to here. That's not an issue, no problem. Let's continue. Poxwalkers are going to move up. Now, if the Poxwalkers actually kill someone in close quarter combat, you get to put back an additional Poxwalker model. And that's well worth it. Let's move these Death Guard up. Now, if I move them to here, they're going to get in for that charge. But also, they get to fire their weapons. That's not a good move. Really, I should have gone around this way to give me more targets to fire on and an opportunity to return that charge without overwatch from these guys. That was a bad move, but it's okay. Alright, so I'm going to start firing. These Poxwalkers have no weaponry which is for ranged weapons. It's all close quarter combat. These guys, on the other hand, they have their weapons. So we're going to start off with a plasma gun, a plasma pistol. Let's see what it does. On the roll of 1, he's removed from play. You know it was all waiting for that. Okay, next blight launcher on a 3. You just it is what it is. This happens. Okay, we're gonna hit the charges. So it's gonna need a 7, and these guys are gonna need a 9. Okay, let's send these guys in first. They have less value, and once these guys are trapped in Overwatch, and there's more models there, they can't Overwatch again. But if they fail their charge, they can Overwatch these guys here. Declaration has been made. We're looking at Overwatch. These have 3 pistols that they can fire. On 6s they hit. There's 1 hit. On a 3+ they wound. And there's no wound. This is going great. So let's see if they get in. Well, the charge distance 5 is not enough. It's a failed charge. Let's go for these guys. They're going to make the charge. And again, all 3 of these get to Overwatch. Even though they can only see 1 of them, this guy here, and that one there, actually the blight launchers too, they can Overwatch the whole unit. So again, on 6s, nothing. So let's charge in. Let's see if they can make that charge. 6. 6 is not enough. Once again, that's a close call for the Space Marines. So it's their turn. So let's take advantage of their rapid fire. So they can move up to 6. So the Marines in the back will end up here. But let's move our Reavers forward. They definitely want to shut these guys down. Let's move up 6 to here. Yes, you can move them all at once. That's no problem. See how that was done. And we've already measured here. And we know that guy falling over should end about there. Okay. So we're going to start with rapid fire, because that's within 12 here. All of those models onto these guys. It means they have double the shots. Fortunately, they gave us 6 dice. So we want 3s. And we want 3s again. And that's quite a good roll for the first time. Now, if I roll a 5, if I roll 5 or 6, these guys instantly ignore that wound, otherwise they're removed from play. So that's 3 of the Poxwalkers removed from play. So let's take these 3, because I don't want to make my charge longer. Now there is no leader model here, so it makes no difference whatsoever which one I remove. We'll have these guys fire again. Now they could fire on here, but there's no leadership, so they're going to stay. So let's fire on these guys. We know we can guarantee to get rid of them. So 3 shots, 2 hits. I say that a bit early. 3's to wound. I say that a bit early. And that's the action there. Now it's charges. Now I could charge this unit here, the Poxwalkers, and they have no Overwatch, and then pile in towards the Death Guard, but I can't attack them because I didn't choose them as my intended target for a charge. But then they can pile in and return the attack. So let's be brave. Let's charge into the Death Guard. Definitely going to make it. We'll start with these guys here. Actually, no. If I had a clear line just through here, or maybe this guy was hidden here, I would be a little bit cheeky. That's not going to happen. So let's charge the first set of Reavers. 5 inches, and we're charging both of them. So that's definitely in, and I want to see how close I can get. So I want to create that clear line. But before we do that, we have Overwatch. We have a bolter here, misses. We have the blight grenade launcher, Misses. Oh, if that was a plasma pistol. Plasma pistol. Misses. So let's move them in. So they're going to come round to charge both units here. Remember, chargers attack first. We'll then have the intercessors charge. 5. Is that enough? I don't think it is. And it's a failed charge. You can see there. Okay, no problems. So let's pile them in. Piling up to 3 inches. But you can't separate the coherency. So we will have this Reaver attack these two with his 3 attacks. And we're going to have these two use 6 attacks, 3 each, to attack this unit. Again, there's no sergeant there, so it doesn't count. So for this first Reaver against the Poxwalkers, there are 2 hits, 3 to wound, no wounds. Okay, this is going great. We're now going to take these guys here, next to the Reavers, and they're going to attack the Plague Marines there, or the Death Guard Plague Marines. And they've got 6 attacks in total. So all hit apart from 1. Now we need 5s because they are a lot tougher. And look at that, 3 wounds. Now their save, they save on a 3+, 1 fell, and now they get a disgustingly resilient roll, which is 5 or better. And there's a 5. So they stay. So that totally messed up, and that's called whiffing. It means they've done absolutely nothing. They missed. This is going to be a problem. Now, it's the Poxwalkers' turn and the Death Guard Marines' turn to attack first. And I think I'm going to attack with the Poxwalkers first. Actually, no, I'm going to attack with the Death Guard first. Because if a Poxwalker kills a model, they get to return 1 of them back. So I'm more likely to do wound with these guys. So let's start off. That's 3 attacks. Oops, sorry, no, I have to separate him because he has a power fist. So let's use these 2, which hit on the 3, which will be the Blight Launcher and the Bolter. 2 hits. Now wounding is on 4s. 2 wounds. They have to save on the 3+. And they're both fine. Now I wonder if we could do that again with a power fist that hits on a 4 because it's heavy and clunky. No, it misses. Now it's the Poxwalkers. The Poxwalkers have 2 attacks each. There you go. They hit on a 5 and they wound on a 5. So 1 hit. No wound there. It doesn't say they have a reroll at this point in time. So, it's actually the Death Guard's turn. And what I have them do is retreat. Move them away. If they were individual, I'll probably leave them in combat. I could leave them in combat. But what's happening is that keeps them in position if I utilise that ability. The next turn they can fire. I don't like that. I'm going to leave them where they are. And let's just continue combat. There you go. So let's continue combat. They've got no pistols to fire, so it is what it is. 2 plague knives, 2 hits. Rerolling 1, so you need a 4. It's a plague knife, it wounds. Space Marine save, failed. They take the first wound over there. Now, we're going to use a power fist. Can he hit on the 4+? No. So now we have alternating turns because we dealt with chargers. So now it's the Reaver's turn again. So we're going to take 3 attacks on the Poxwalkers here. There's 2 hits, 2 wounds, and they need 2 5+s to remain. And no, that's it. So these 2 have been removed, so they're no longer in play. So let's have a look at these 2 Reavers attacking the rest of the Death Guard there. So we do 1 at a time. So 2 hits, 1 wound, 1 save. Let's go again. 2 hits, well, this looks familiar. 1 wound, 1 failed save. Okay, disgustingly resilient. And it fails. So one of these 3 models now from Death Guard have to be removed. And what I'll do is I'll select the Bolter guy, just in case. He's of the lowest value due to his weapon. So let's remove him from play, and that's fine. So we still have the power fist left for next turn. And hopefully we can utilise that. Space Marine's turn. Whoops, there's nothing there. I keep knocking him over. Let's move him around this way. Maybe there's a hint. Let's move around that way, and then they can charge into combat as well. They're into combat, and let's move them around here as close as I can. 2 and 3. Now technically they're within 1 inch of another model, so normally they could fight in Warhammer 40k, but the rule right now is that you have to be within 1 inch of the model to be in combat. So unfortunately this guy won't get to attack. So chargers go first. We have 2 chargers, 2 intercessors, 2 attacks each, 1 hit, 1 wound, all the Death Guard save, Death Guard saves. Now once charge has been done, you take alternating turns. Start with the person that charged first for the next set of attacks. So only Reavers are left, and they can put all of their attacks into these 2 models. So I'll re-roll one of these dice. They're all hits. They hit on 3s. Missed anyway. Last one. And now they wound on 5. So hopefully I get a couple. Yes! So that's 4 saves. 3+. That's brilliant. Go from hot to cold when rolling dice. Now they get to return. Let's start off with a plague knife into the intercessors. 1 hit. Can they wound? 1 wound. Intercessor save. Failed to save. If that had been a Poxwalker that had removed this model from play, I could immediately place a Poxwalker back within 2 inches of the original unit. So that's 1 Reaver removed. That's a lot of attacks. Now we have the Plague Champion. I think what I'm going to do is continue attacking the intercessors because they have the most attacks, and maybe we can whittle them down. So again, 1 attack, 1 hit this time, wounds on the 2, 1 wound, and let me just check on their save. If they take 1 wound instantly. That's a very nice weapon, the Power Fist. It's actually even better in the full game, but for now that would do. So now it'll be the Plague Marine's turn, and they get to attack. Again, let's start with the Plague Knife. This Power Fist again is going to come through. Hits, going to wound on the 2. No, fail. I mean, here's a 2+. This is ridiculous. Okay, so now it's a following turn. We might as well run these attacks together. If I had more dice, I would just pile them all up because they all hit and all wound the same. So we'll have 2, 4, 6 there, and we'll have another 6 there. So it will be 12 attacks. So we're going to roll these a few times. Let's get the extra 2 now. So that's 4 hits, 5 hits, the exact amount of dice wounding, 1 wound. So it can fluctuate. Can they save? It fails, so I want to take it on that guy. Disgustingly resilient. It fails again. So the Space Marines are decisively winning this time. Okay, so that will be turn. Now I could have shot pistols from these guys because they all have pistols. I could have fired them into combat if we was using the full rules, but we're not using the full rules because it hasn't made mention of their pistols. You can see them modelled on there. Okay. So let's continue with this model here, Death Guard model. See if we could just take out 1 more of these Reavers. So let's go. Roll and misses. Okay, I want to call it there. Effectively, we know that within 6 turns he can't eliminate these. They have 2 wounds each. One's only lost 1, so that's like 9 turns of good rolling, 4+, which is like 50-50. So that covers that combat. We can see the Space Marines have decisively won. You can see the model count there, 1 loss versus all those Poxwalkers. And the key to this mission was firing it instantly upon the Poxwalkers. It was focused fire. We had all the fire going from both units into the Poxwalkers. So always get your target priority on. Always take away the things that can limit your combat phases. So the most combat phases you can have, or the more you can get, the better. So for the Death Guard, they were unlucky with their charges. If they got more charges in, they could have tied up the Space Marines. Maybe I should have advanced them to begin with, forgone shooting, rather than trying to take a long charge. Could have guaranteed it. Maybe provided more cover to begin with. Make them come to the Death Guard. So if they all bunched up here, if it's time limited turns or if there have been objectives elsewhere, they'll have to chase them down. But other than that, that could have been an appropriate strategy. But it is within 6 turns, and that's the game. So Space Marines are up at the minute, so they've been able to wipe out from the hull this area of Death Guard. They've even been able to take a captive Death Guard champion, and they'll find out more information from them before they introduce a character in the next mission of Conquest Combat. Take care. I've had fun. Hopefully you've had fun. This has been Spect. PC out.